Recent history of the Republic of Kazakhstan and Kazakhstan Trade Union of Education and Science Workers was started after the independence in 1991. Transition to the market economy proved to be a challenging. Transformation of state property into non-state entities, economic crisis, inflation and reduction in people's living standards, demolition of production, privatization, price liberalization and open economy principle were also in process. Trade unions were unable to manage the budget of social insurance, legal boundary of their activity was narrowed, old laws didn't work and there were no new ones. Economic crisis caused the heavy deficit of budget, teachers did not receive salary in a timely manner, costs on education were reduced, the Republic lost 80% of preschool and 90% of after-school organizations. In these difficult and contradictory conditions, the forms and methods of work had changed. Deteriorated financial standing of pedagogical workers, low salary and enlarged staff turnover have become an impetus for a Republican strike of teachers in 1992 that was organized in line with the existing legislation at that time. This strike showed that trade unions were a real force. Administrations of all levels banded their glance to the education, and trade union obtained confidence. All requirements of the trade union made the government were fulfilled. We achieved a reduction in teaching load. Categories of positions were identified in the unified rate schedule that allowed raising salary. Situation among students was also volatile. Scholarship was not paid for 5-9 months. Debts on the Republican budget amounted to more than 160 million tenge and more than 260 million tenge from local budget. Material base of educational institutions fell into decline. Most student centers were closed. Due to gradual and hard work of the trade union, the government sought funds to repay debts on scholarships, assist students of low-income families. Direction on social and health work was strengthened. The Republican Youth Council was approved and state youth policy conception was accepted. Today, Kazakhstan Trade Union of Education and Science Workers is one of the major member organizations of the Trade Union Federations of the Republic of Kazakhstan. It unites 20 regional and territorial member organizations, 209 regional city trade union committees, more than 10,000 of primary trade union organizations with a population of 836 members of the trade union. Kazakhstan Trade Union of Education and Science Workers has established and acting on a voluntary basis equal rights and solidarity of their members to protect their labor, professional and other social and economic rights and interests. The trade union performs its activity in accordance with the constitution laws, normative and legal acts of the Republic of Kazakhstan, constitution of the trade union and generally accepted principles and norms of international law. Priority directions of the trade union's work are protection of professional and labor, social and economic rights and interests of union's members, organizational and financial strengthening of the trade union, motivation of union's membership and real interest in it. The supreme body of the trade union is the Congress, which is convened once every 5 years. The Congress hears reports on activity of the Central Body in Control and Revision Commission of the Trade Union, discusses social and labor problems, elects governing bodies, and identifies the action program which serves as a basis for coming 5 years. The Congress amends the Constitution of the Trade Union if necessary. The trade union's governing body between the Congress is the Council, consisting of the representatives of all regional and territorial organizations of the trade union. The key role of the trade union's activity and its structural subdivisions is allocated to the development of social partnership through the level of protection of social and economic, labor rights and professional interests at all directions. The trade union regularly, once every 3 years, signs the branch agreement with the Ministry of Education and Science of the Republic of Kazakhstan. Adoption of branch agreements at the regional level and collective agreements in the educational organizations promotes solution of labor, social and economic issues on sites. Each year, a committee of 2 sides commission on social partnership making result of branch agreement. The trade union seeks to align its job content to the requirements of our times in all contradictory and complex conditions. In case of violation of labor rights, it takes urgent measures using partnership, protects constitutional, social and economic rights and interests of education workers, and addresses problems of improvement of remuneration system. The youth councils, associations, commissions, councils of young professionals have been established and are successfully operating under the branch trade union and its structural subdivisions. Different contests, forums, cultural and sporting activities are traditionally organized. They allow discovering and expressing personal, creative and organizational abilities, instilling a sense of participation, patriotism and solidarity that is core of trade union movement. Significant work on trade union membership motivation among youth is teaching and preparation of personnel reserve. The trade union in its work pays great attention on teaching and professional development of trade unions, staff and activists. Teaching is organized through the Training and Methodical Center of the Federation, Education Center of Structural Subdivisions of Trade Union, educational classes, which are equipped with modern technical means of education, library of normative and legal acts of the Republic was opened all over the Republic, and teaching programs are developing. Annual coverage of seminars of trade union workers, activists, trade union members of different levels, district, regional, sectorial, republican and international, is more than 40,000 people. Not only trade union staff but also employers undergone the teaching. Seminars on explaining the norms of the labor code, new remuneration model of civil servants are currently holding in the Republic with the participation of activists and employers of regions. The international workshops with the participation of coordinators of Education International are also being conducted. A total of 39 seminars were conducted and 1,123 activists were educated. Essential for the society and trade unions of the law on trade unions, which is aimed at strengthening the union's role and function, achievement of social stability in the society, effective protection of employees and labor collectives was adopted in 2014. This draft law was developed under the instruction of the head of the state Nursultan Nazarbayev, and today on its basis the radical reforming of all trade union structures is taking place. One of the main tasks of the law is to strengthen the unity of trade union movement and raise their role and authority in the society. The new labor code was adopted on January 1, 2016. Kazakhstan Trade Union took active part in discussion of draft law. More than 100 proposals concerning such vital workers' issues as signing and termination of labor contract, remuneration and labor norming, control over fulfillment of labor legislation and others were submitted. Trade Unions Party defended each position and proposal at all working stages on draft legislation at the meetings of the government's working group. Today, our main task is to use our authority correctly for full protection of rights and professional interests of branch workers, which is provided by the new labor code. The Education and Science Development State Program of the Republic of Kazakhstan for 2016-2019 was adopted on March 2016. Gradual transition on trilingual education is provided. Not only concentration on financial resources, making serious managerial decisions, but also consolidation of common efforts are needed for successful implementation of the program. The trade union, jointly with social partner, the Ministry of Education and Science, will put all existing capacity into program implementation to use its tasks to improve workers' labor conditions and enhance the teacher status. In modern context, successful work of trade unions is impossible without close information contacts with the international trade union movement. Having established friendly relations, our trade union actively cooperates with various world trade unions. Attaching particular importance to this question, it seeks to widen international ties. Having used international practice, we try to share our experience, methods of work and problems. The trade union is member of Education International (EI) International Organization, which joins more than 150 countries all over the world. It's also a member of ETUCE, European Trade Unions Committee of Education, International Trade Union Organization of the CIS countries, MOP, Eurasian International Union of Educational Workers. Trade union closely cooperates with mass media of the Republic and have its acting website. The Trade Union of Education and Science Workers will enhance its authority based on specific actual cases, closely cooperating with partners, public organizations, trade unions, international trade union movement. The set sail for modernization of trade union movement to provide further evolutionary path of its development and occupy a worthy place in the democratic society obliges us to do all tasks.